morning of Hawaii. We've been waiting for you. Aloha Hawaii, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man, everybody. Welcome back to Day 2 Breakfast with Bob from Kona and Huggo's on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, deboer wetsuits, Form Smart Swim goggles, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, Quintana, Premium Plus Sports, and our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Jen Annett from Canada and lovely Penticton. How you doing, Jen?
I'm doing great, thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here. Now, being in Kona is, for a lot of people, brings back great memories. And for you, you've had, so was it 2008 when was it a training accident?
Yes, it was. Back at home about 8 days out from the race.
Oh, so right before you were coming over here, you
bet.
got injured and couldn't race.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, but so what got you into this crazy sport to begin with?
My husband.
Really?
Yep. We moved to Penticton, which is Ironman Canada, back in 2005, and went down to watch Ironman, which I'd never heard of. And I was so astounded by the athletes and just the whole event. I was in tears and I didn't even know anybody. I'm like, this is an amazing thing. Like, I want to do this. I want to be a part of it. And we got married the next year, so that was out of the question. And did it in 2008, won my age group, and landed here. So I've been hooked ever since.
That is very cool. And when I look back, Ironman Canada, mainly you like the longer events, right? The Ironman, did you try a lot of 70.3s and just realize, you know what, the full is better for me?
Honestly, I actually love the 70.3 distance. It's easy to bounce back from.
Yeah.
But with the competition now, it's just not feasible for me to race. I can't run as fast as those girls.
Right.
So my coach calls me a diesel. That's pretty much kind of why I stick to the long distance.
I like it. And then this year, actually, I want to talk about the 2019. You were racing here, and you got hit by a moto?
I did. I was coming down Palani on my bike, so about 3 kilometers or so into the ride, and was hit by a medium motorcycle almost at the bottom of Palani, and yeah.
And you got up and kept riding?
Well, yes. I mean, I was out for, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 minutes, and my wheel was destroyed. We found a ton more damage to my bike, but I'm really stubborn, and I was really mad, and I was in a lot of pain, but adrenaline is a great drug.
Yeah.
And finished the bike, got to about 150K, and I'm like, I am in so much pain, like, what am I doing? And then mentally convinced myself that I would feel better once I started running, which was probably the stupidest thing.
But you don't know until you try.
No, but it was like, to me, it was a disappointment. My family was here. I had friends that made the trip out here. Disappointment to myself because, well, this is the World Championships, right? So it was kind of a redemption for the year before. I had bad luck with electronic shifting shorting out. A lot of people did that year. So it was just one more year of bad luck. And I'm like, I'm going to make it. Didn't make it.
So back when you were training for Kona in 2008, and you hit by a car, but for a couple years after that, I suffered small seizures and went undiagnosed, kept training. December 2010, major seizure, told you couldn't drive or bike alone or take a bath. You're 25 years old. What did they finally diagnose it as?
It was diagnosed as epilepsy. So I'd been having small episodes or mini seizures since I was hit by that car in 2008, and then finally had a grand mal seizure in 2010, which is when they basically put it all together. They're like, you've actually been having seizures for the last 2 years.
And they didn't realize that's what it was?
No. And then had that diagnosis, which was kind of a slap in the face, and struggled on and off with medication and seizures for a few years there, and then now it's been under control for...
Well, 2013, you were back racing again.
I was. Once again, I'm stubborn. Anybody that knows me can vouch for that one. but I enjoy the sport. And the funny thing is when I'm training really hard is when I seem to not have seizures.
Yes.
So
That makes sense to me.
To me, it was kind of a healthy out, I guess.
So when you look at this last couple of years, 2022, you're 5th at Ironman Texas, 2nd at Ironman Des Moines, 2nd Ironman Mount Vermont, 19th here, right, in 2022, and then 4th at Ironman Arizona. We're talking 5 full Ironmans. That's a lot of Ironman races.
It is, and I don't know, I enjoy it. I actually didn't really realize I was going into my 5th one until after Kona, and I haven't had the results I've wanted here. So for me, it's like to do one last race after Kona and finish on a high note.
Right.
Has always kind of been the goal, and it was kind of that like, oh, this is my 5th one since April, but I guess we just keep on going.
So when you're doing that many Ironman, do you do a lot in between, or do you basically say, okay, I just need to, because a lot of guys will come off of this race, sort of leave their bike in the box, and then go and do Arizona or Florida or something like that, because if I've got the training in the bank, I might as well use it. I had a good race in Kona, but I feel hungry to go do something else.
It depends on the timing between the races.
Okay.
So, I mean, I haven't raced since Lake Placid, which was...
Oh my God, that's years ago.
I know. So I've put in a really, really solid training shift since then.
Yeah.
But then, for example, like I'm planning on racing to go Florida, which is 3 weeks.
Yes.
So that'll be kind of a week of recovery, a week of some sort of maintenance, and a week of taper. So it actually almost kind of makes it fun and easy doing them that close together, as long as your body is capable of recovering between the races.
And do you find that you're still recovering as well as you did when you were a little younger?
Yes, I'm getting older. As long as I do it properly, I have found that I'm bouncing back pretty good. It depends on how fit I am going into that race, and then, like I said, how smart I am with recovery afterwards.
So this year, 8th at Texas and 5th at Coeur d'Alene and 3rd at Placid. So, and then you got 2 more. You got this one, so you'll do another 5.
Yes, we realized that a little while ago. I don't know. 5 seems to be the magic number.
That's magic number.
Yeah.
Every couple months, you spread them out. There's 12 months in a year. What's the big deal?
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. So with this race, since the fact that you got through it last year and got 19th after all the different stuff that you've had go on here, that must have felt like a huge victory.
It was once again not the race that I wanted.
Yeah.
My second bottle of nutrition on the bike solidified. It like coagulated.
Oh my God.
So I went to reach back for it and I couldn't get anything out of it. And anybody that raced here last year knows that the aid stations were cut back last year.
Right.
So trying to make up that calorie deficit in the back half of the bike was
that hurts
not
your
happening.
run.
No.
Yeah.
I tried my best, but ultimately I came out of the bike extremely short on calories. Spent the first 10K of the run trying to make some sort of catch up, but you're never going to catch up at that point. So once again, something kind of bad that happened during this race. So I'm really hoping this is going to be the year.
With everything you've gone through with the seizures and all that, are you finding that now that people know your story, or having people reach out to you or dealing with similar situations?
Yes, actually, I've had quite a few people reach out. I actually am coaching somebody who's gone through a similar situation as well. Last year, ran into a few people here that picked me out and talked about it.
Yes.
So it's awesome to do that. It makes me feel really good.
Makes you realize you're not alone.
Yeah, not alone, but just an inspiration to people who perhaps thought that this was over.
Right.
That things aren't possible.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't step on those toes, but anything is possible, right?
That's it. Anything's possible. When you look back at your career, what do you look at as your best race?
I don't know. I mean, winning the long course championships in 2016 in my hometown was a pretty big race for me. I would say my breakthrough race would have been back in 2015 when I came third at Ironman Canada. That was kind of like, okay, I can do this as a pro.
Yep.
I don't know, coming third in Germany and second in Des Moines, those have got to be like two of my like most proud of
yes.
moments for sure. But I don't know, there's always a takeaway from every race. And there's always good and there's always bad. So
with all of that, because you've done Cozumel, Treblon, Arizona, what's your favorite one? Canada. You've done so many different Ironmans. If someone was going to be a travel agent for doing Ironman events, what are your favorites?
Well, I have to say Penticton.
Of course you do. That's a given. We know what Penticton's at.
Yeah, well, I mean, for various reasons.
Right.
It's an absolutely epic course.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful place to be, bring the family, vacation, whatever. Lake Placid is a absolutely gorgeous venue.
Yes.
It does really remind me of home. And the community is really neat. The course is beautiful. So that's got to be probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene is right up there as well.
The other thing, I'm guessing, because you've been doing this so long, that you've got homestays that have become friends of yours forever.
Yeah, I've had a lot of repeat people that I've been able to stay with. Some of them have moved from those places, but then have connected me with their friends.
Yes.
So, but there's still lots of people that I'll post things on social media, and they're like, good luck. Wish we were there. So that's been cool. That's a part of the kind of connections that I've made through the sport.
What are your goals for this Saturday?
Well, I don't really want to jinx myself.
There's nobody watching. Won't be a problem.
Oh, nobody watching. I mean, it's an incredible field this year. It really is. This is the most women that have been here.
No question. Over 2,000 women. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Well,
and pro women is gigantic. Yes.
And I mean, there's always people that can surprise you. I mean, look at last year when Chelsea won. I'm running down the Queen K, and I'm like, who is that? Like, that's not who I expected to be out there.
You're
right?
thinking Daniela. You're thinking Lucy. You're thinking Annie. Yeah. So, and who's that gal? Yeah.
I mean, my goal was to be in top 10 fitness, and then whatever happens from there.
Perfect.
So, I mean, top 10 would be probably be more than winning an actual race to me.
Yes.
I think top 15 is probably a little bit more realistic, but aiming for top 10.
Love it. Jen, thank you for taking time. Such a treat to get to see you. You've overcome a ton. I mean, there's a lot of people who would not have gone back racing again after what you'd gone through, would not get on a bicycle outdoors after what you've gone through. And not only have you done that, but you're back racing at the highest level.
Thank you. Yeah, I love the sport and love the people I've met, and wouldn't give it up for anything.
Love it. Jen Annett has been our guest. Again, Poncho Man, take us out.
Good morning, Hawaii. We've been waiting for you. Aloha, Hawaii. 'Cause it's breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man.